Welcome, chat, to Metalladium Page. It is a great pleasure to talk with you about Frozen Soul, this new album, Glacial Domination, and more things related to the metal world. We're starting with a common question: how has band been during these 2 years? Because your previous album was released 2 years ago. Now, 2 years later, we have a new album from Frozen Soul.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been a crazy past few years. We've been super busy, just touring a lot and trying to like prepare for the future, trying to keep things moving. Um the pandemic was like real weird for everybody, so it was hard for us to it was kind of hard for us to stay afloat, but we found ways with our like live stream Wrecking Ball Metal Madness and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then yeah, just kept it moving. That was enough like to help keep us like in the mix. And then just kept going. I guess Crypt Device had like pretty good steam to it. We were all pretty impressed and pretty happy with like the response from everybody, and we just kind of buckled down and focused on the future and like what we can do to like make a better Frozen Soul. And we think like Glacial Domination delivers that, because we took a lot of risks with the album and did a lot of things we're not used to doing and stuff like that to like try and be more than just like a band that plays heavy riffs and stuff. We want to take like whoever's listening on like a journey with us. So yeah, it's been a crazy 3 years, man.
Yes, that's true. Because the next question goes from that way. So when when we spoke about 2 years, we spoke 2 years ago from Crippled Eyes. I remember you are
Yeah.
new band at that time.
Yeah.
You deal with Century Media at that time, but now the overwhelming response that the Crippled Eyes has in the world had in the world was amazing, because a lot of media, a lot of fans, reviewers say that this is the comeback from the old sound with like Bolt Thrower, etc., etc. So how do you deal with this overwhelming reception that this Grip of Ice had at that time?
It was weird. Like, I kind of like have this like weird imposter syndrome kind of thing, to where like it's hard for me to hear something like that and be like, oh, oh shit, really? That's amazing. Like, I'm just kind of like, wait a minute, you're crazy. Like, like that's kind of my response. It's kind of the whole band's response. And we have friends in like bands that have been doing things a lot longer than us, and a lot of them like, you know, a lot of them like had like kind things to say, like, you guys should just soak it in, and just live in the moment. And like if people are loving it, people are loving it, and just live in it and accept it, and don't always like be so hard on yourself and stuff like that. So I've been doing this for like a really long time. So, for me, like, it's like crazy because, it feels like it has been overwhelming. It feels like it's been super quick, but like, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. So for me, like, it's just like it's taken 20 years for this like to pop off. And so like it's almost unbelievable to me that it's like happening. uh so yeah, I mean, like it's been great, hearing like such kind words from everybody and stuff. It's really like done a lot for me. And it's been a rough 3 years, like I said. So it's been, I think, less overwhelming and more of just like an absolute positive reinforcement to my life, to all of our lives. Like having so many like awesome people like follow us and like be a part of us and stuff like that. Like it's been the most uplifting thing ever. I lost my brother pretty recently, and the overwhelming support from everybody has been like super amazing. So yeah, it's been great. Like, a little less overwhelming. The response isn't what's been overwhelming. The workload has been what's overwhelming. But like the response has been amazing. It's been the best thing to ever happen to all of our lives. So
Nice. When we spoke about 2 years ago, when the main focus or the main the main subject of the band is the song, the theme of the talking about the ice. And Creep of Ice, the name of Creep of Frozen Soul, now
Yeah.
Frozen Ice, and now you are using Glacial Domination. So this dead ice is will continues the each word of the Frozen Soul like the main theme.
Hmm. Yeah, I think here's the cool thing about like using frozen stuff as a main theme to a band.
Yeah.
Uh everybody gets cold, in some way, whether it's physically or mentally. You know, that's something just about everybody on the face of this earth shares. So it's pretty endless in the things that we can do with it. Um, on top of that, like, being from Texas, we don't experience the cold very often, but when it does get cold, it just straight up ices over. So this whole state shuts down. Nobody knows how to deal with it. So it's kind of funny because anytime it freezes over in Texas, everybody posts like, "Did Frozen Soul leave the ice box open?" or something like that. Like, because it just works, and it fits with the themes of death metal. Death metal is pretty cold, has a lot to do with revenge and a lot of that kind of stuff, and that can all be cold, so yeah, I think the themes will continue, man. Like, there's no reason to stop it. It's awesome, it's funny. We could do funny stuff with it. That's one of the greatest things about metal, you don't take yourself too seriously, and you just like have a lot of fun. So the ice is like definitely like one of the main reasons we like can keep this up.
Yeah. Other aspect is that I saw the change from the first album to the second is the cover art. I mean, in the cover art, the first one are more what are skeletons there, eyes over there. So now you change now but obviously the artist because Belio Hosto did the first cover art. Now you are with James Boozman. So
Hmm.
for that, what is the motive to change the cover art for this new album? And what is exactly meaning that this castle of the castle in the middle of the cover art?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, there was a few reasons why we changed artists. Um, it's not that we necessarily wanted to change artists. I we were so focused on writing the record. The art was like the last thing on our minds at the time, and we had a lot of tours. I had a death in the family, like a ton of stuff happened that like took my mind away from like art, the art side of the band, and more just focused on like, we got to write a record. So I waited a little bit too long to hit up Velio. So, unfortunately, when I did message him, he was too busy. He said he had way too much going on. He had too many prior obligations, and he couldn't slide things around to give us the quality of work that he would want to give us. So, I couldn't wait. And so I started looking for other artists. I had messaged a few artists, and I really like what James did for Municipal Waste. We had Municipal Waste on our Wrecking Ball Metal Madness, like our live fest that we threw of the event. We had them on it, and I saw their new artwork, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. This guy really gets it. He understands, like, how to make something look authentic, even though he's like a digital artist. Like, you could tell that he doesn't like take the shortcuts that a lot of like digital artists do and stuff like that. He just can make things look legit. So I was like, okay, what can we do with this? And I just got to talking with him,
Mhm.
and man, he was amazing to work with. Like, he was sending us all sorts of sketches and stuff that were like basically full paintings. It was awesome. I mean, we were able to fit little things in from the record into the album cover. Whereas on Crypt of Ice, like, that didn't exist on the album cover. It was just, we had some ideas and Velio just kind of ran with it. And it turned out great. I loved it. But this one, like if you look, you could see the arrows from Arsenal of War. You could see the morbid effigy, which is the mountain. You know, you could see like the armies. You could see like all these little things that have to do with the songs on the record. You
Mm.
know, and that's something that like you really like you got to read the lyrics and you've got to listen, and that's just kind of like an Easter egg kind of thing. Like you've got to read the lyrics and listen to the whole record front to back, and then look at the album cover. And if you do that, you'll see it. You know, you'll see the little things if you're looking for them. So I mean, yeah, it was a weird change that I was skeptical on, but turned out to be like the best move that we could have done, because James is like an amazing dude to work with. And it still includes like it includes some themes from the first record. So so you'll see when if you buy the record, you can get on the back of the record, you could see Mr. Wraith of Death from the first record. He's on the back of the record. So it's like real cool. I'm really like, I can't wait to see how the records turn out myself. But yeah, the art, like big change, but at the same time, like I think it was like a necessary one.
Mm. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Well, now you are the second time working with the Century Media. Well, with the overwhelming receipt that the Crypto Eyes has at the 2 years ago. Perhaps did you receive some offers from other labels, other big labels to sign with them?
No, I mean, the like it's that's kind of weird because like it doesn't I know there's labels out there that do that kind of stuff, but in the industry, like most of the time, like when you're signed to a label, other labels don't hit you up. You know, they'll talk to you. Like we're friends with the guys from Metal Blade. You know, we got to hang out with them at Psycho Las Vegas, but there was absolutely no talk of like us signing to them or some shit like that, because they have a good relationship with Century Media. And honestly, we don't want to leave Century Media. Like Century Media takes care of us, man.
Yes.
Like big time. They gave us like you know, the budgets we wanted, you know, for videos this time around. Like, and they gave us budget that we wanted last time around, you know, but this time like it was much more like, here, whatever you guys want, you know, take it. Here, you know, this is your vision. You know, I mean, they trusted us, and awesome label, like great label. So definitely want to definitely want to stay with Century Media. Have no needs to like go anywhere else.
Okay, I remember when we spoke 3 years ago that the sound of the band is very leaned down to the bolt thrower, to the old influence of the death metal in general. So
Mhm.
now, 2 years later, I hear completely this Glaze of Domination. You told me also that the new album has a more approach different sound to the previous one, but now it's impossible not to see the influence from bolt thrower into this new album again. So how do you deal with this aspect other than that a lot of reviewers, fans sense that the Frozen Soul is like the bolt thrower from and from 2000s to 2010s?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's something that like I don't think we can escape, and we don't really want to, because here's the thing, Bolt Thrower is not a band anymore.
Yeah.
And I love Bolt Thrower. Bolt Thrower is the greatest death metal band to ever exist, in my opinion. And the reason why is because like, you know, the vocals hit the groove just perfectly. You know, there's a little bit of something for everyone who likes extreme music in there. Like you know, Bolt Thrower is just an incredible band, and I think the standard for like a good death metal band. You know, and on top of that, man, when we play music, like we play music that we want to hear. You know, we play music that we love. And like Bolt Thrower is just a great band. Bolt Thrower, Obituary, Mortician. But at the same time, like we like big metal bands too, you know. Like me and Michael love Metallica. You know,
Mm.
Metallica is one of our favorite bands. You know, bands like Sodom and, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, I know you're a fan. I could see the posters on the wall. So it's like, you know, we like that big feel too, you know, that epic feel, that like wow, you know, that you get from those big metal bands. So it's like we just tried to kind of include that feel into Glacial. Before it was like, how do we play old school death metal? Now it's how do we play old school metal, you know, and just like have it mixed, have it be Frozen Soul, you know, when it boils down to it. Like we, you know, if you know, listen to the, I'm assuming you've have you heard the whole record yet?
Yes, yes,
Did they
yes, yes,
send you the
yes.
whole? Okay, yeah, I figured they sent this record to you like they did the last one. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of leads on this record. There's a lot of solos on this record.
Yes, yes.
There's a lot of like choruses and pre-choruses that slightly change from one another and verses that don't stay the same like they do on the last record. Like we tried to incorporate more like proper songwriting and stuff so that like we could tell a story with our songs instead of just repeating the same lyrics over and over again, you know. You know, and then the songs in general like are a little bit easier on the ears at times, you know, like Arsenal of War, you can understand what I'm saying a little bit better. We were kind of trying to go for like a Sepultura kind of feel, you know, and that's kind of what I meant.
No.
Sepultura's riffs, just like, you know, some of Sepultura's riffs, just like, you know, it's almost like a death metal band wrote them, you know.
Mm.
So like it's one of those things where it's like we try and like we tried with this record to open ourselves up a little bit and like and just like play around with things and experiment and you know just I don't know, have fun as musicians, you know. Like if we just wrote Crypt of Ice again, like where's the fun in that? You know, where's the fun in that? You know, and having Heafy involved from Trivium, like, you know, he really helped us like see that like you don't have to do that, you know. You can be and do what you want to do. Like you don't have to be afraid to experiment and to, you know, open up and, you know, it's like you want to open your voice up a little bit and like try some highs instead of always doing lows or something like that. He's like, go for it, man. Like try it, you know, and helped us out of our comfort zone, you know, outside of the box a little
Yep.
bit. So yeah, I think Glacial, like, you know, I think it really showcases like that we can do more as musicians. You know, I'm super proud of it.
No, yes, yes, but Disney albums a little different than the previous one. I don't know, a little more raw in some aspects, nor like the first one more clean and the guitar
Mm-hmm.
riffs is more raw in this aspect. Other detail from this new Glacial Domination is the feature from John Gallagher in the in Morbid Effigy. So,
Mm-hmm.
who came with the idea to invite John Gallagher from Dying Fetus to this new song? Or perhaps this song, since the beginning, was thinking to have a future like John Gallagher.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of all of our ideas. We knew we wanted to have a feature on the record, and we tried to get you know, we tried to get Carl Willis and he was too busy. You know, we tried and we that's really all that I think that's really all we tried. Like we didn't really like try too hard to find other people because we knew we wanted John. Um, you know, we've already done one tour with John and at this point at that point. And dude's hilarious. Like he's so funny. He's just an awesome dude. Like he's like so funny and awesome. And we had the greatest time like touring with those dudes and hanging out with them. So we just thought like who better to have like than John on the song. And also it's a very like dying fetus style song. So there's, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
blast beat, there's like bomb blasts and, you know, then like it has like the heavy slam in it, you know, just like early dying fetus. So like and honestly, it's a one of a kind song on the record too, because none of the other songs really sound like that song. So like we thought it would be funny to like have John on there, write more of a brutal death metal song, put that out first, and then like show everyone that the record's got some diversity to it, you know. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was kind of all of our ideas, but John's awesome, dude. And, you know, he loves the song. And, you know, we toured Europe with them, you know, recently. And, you know, he was like, man, I love this song, man. It's like the typical John voice. He's awesome, dude, man. Like, great guy. So, yeah. we yeah, I couldn't think of a better person to put on it, you know.
Great, great. Other detail that I love from the Frozen Soul since the beginning is your video clips, like songs like the Arctic Strand Hole, Encased in Ice, Written Death. Now the last songs from the last songs, even when the songs with future of John Gallagher, but FG always has this, bueno, this history, has a lot of script there. It's not like just a couple guys play the songs, or you have a history there. You have a script into the video. So who came with the idea since the beginning to now to create these kind of videos with history scripts, a lot of X even.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that kind of falls into what I was talking about, like where we want to be like more as a band, um, like we aren't the type of people to just like half-ass anything. We just can't. Like we have to have fun doing it. And part of the fun of death metal is the goriness and like the comedy to it and like the horror, but like all the adventure, the fantasy, like the just having fun and being extreme, like that's one of the biggest things about this style of music and metal in general. um and we love theatrics, like we love movies, I mean, where would death metal be without horror movies?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, where would any of these ideas even come from if it wasn't for horror movies for any of these bands? So I kind of feel like, the bands that aren't doing stuff like that, like, are they really like, are they really like, if they're trying to like do the old school vibe, are you really doing it? Because like horror movies and stuff is just as much a part of anything to do with metal as the music is. So I think we're just trying to stay true to that. And plus, like, it's just really fun and we want to have fun, man. We want this to be fun. I don't want it to be a job. It is a job at the end of the day now, but like I want it to be fun, because if I'm not having fun, I can't do it. This is why I can't work a regular job anymore. It's just
Well,
because
yeah.
like
Okay.
other than having to tour so much and no job wanting to hire someone that's going to be gone 8 months out of the year.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but yeah, man, like it's just the love for it, man. That's the real answer. It's all of our love for it. We truly love this. So we're gonna do the best we can, man.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that is true. The horror movies into the metal scene are always present since Mortician, one of the greatest bands that they create this mix or intros from the movies, 70s,
Hmm.
80s. Well, oh, speaking
Yeah.
of this issue of introductions and as a curious matter, no, it is strange that almost all those musicians or fans of this musical style are always related to this type of underground movies into the old war horror. It's curious. You said there's a lot of bands, a lot you said that the metal foundations of the lyrics of the music are with the horror movies or the all new ones. So how do you see this? How do you see this detail of the bands and fans who have these penchant for 70s and or 80s wars in the horror movies? Do you think we have something wrong in our heads of the Lynn Towers? But always we talk about we love to see blood in trails, guts.
You know, I don't know if I have a great answer for you on that. I feel like, if you take a step back and you look at it, you're like, wow, this is kind of weird that
Yeah.
everybody has this weird liking to movies about killing and this and that. But, you know, um, I've never stopped and really thought about that, just because of the fact that like I like to be I like it's something I like to call the wow factor of a movie. If I'm watching a movie, doesn't matter if it's a horror movie, a drama movie, an action movie, or whatever, there has to be something that makes me go, whoa, you know? And like when that happens, I feel like I feel like a sense of like just like I don't know, exuberance, or like, I don't know how to really explain it, man. It's this feeling I get where it's like, holy shit. I like that holy shit feel, you know? So I think one of the movies that does it, one of the types of movies that does it the best is horror movies. When like, you know, someone's doing something and they like break a guy's arm or something, you're just like, holy shit, you know? And I think that feeling can be like manifested into like music and all sorts of things, into drawings and art. And I think that's why it kind of fits. Like I don't necessarily think like we're all screwed up in the head for liking that stuff. I just think that everybody likes to be shocked, you know. It's like a shock factor.
Yeah,
Everybody likes that. You know, everybody likes to be shocked, because if you just did the same normal mundane things every single day, like your life would feel meaningless, you know. You have to have some sort of wow, some sort of shock, you know, to feel alive, you know.
yeah,
And I think finding new innovative ways to do crazy stuff is something that could deliver that pretty well. And you know, and so I don't think anybody's at fault for liking horror movies or anything like that. None of us are messed up in the head. I'm sure there's somebody that's messed up in the head that likes horror
yeah.
movies,
Well, yeah.
but
Oh,
we're not. We're not, me and you, we're not. We just like horror movies, you know.
yes, yes, yes.
But
We
I
like.
think it goes hand in hand with like death metal, because you know, you can, I mean, it's called death metal for a reason, you know. But it just works. It works. It's there is, I think, something a little less shocking nowadays,
Mm,
because so much stuff has been done and you can only do the same thing so many times before, like, you know, it just can't change that much, you know, or else it's just something different. um but like death metal in a whole just goes really well with horror movies. And I don't think everybody's all screwed up. I think everybody just likes a little shock in their life, you know, and there
yeah.
you go. You can get it. This is a very healthy way to get it,
Yes,
because
yes, yes. Well,
there's a lot of unhealthy ways to get a weird shock factor. And I'm glad that I like death metal and horror movies to get my shock.
okay. So we're very close to this interview, chat. For that reason, what are the future plans that the band has for this new, well, for this new album? Perhaps you are preparing more nasty videos to promote these new albums in the future. Perhaps an European tour, perhaps more North American tours, more dates, or perhaps you, or who knows, in the near future, your first steps to Latin American.
Yeah, actually, I think I do think that that, you know, we've got like a lot. I mean, I know we've got a lot of crazy stuff coming up. I mean, we're about to hit the road with Black Dahlia Murder and a full North American tour here coming up in about 2 weeks. So we leave for that, and when we get back, we have like a month off, and then we go to all of Europe. I think we're doing like most of the festivals, you know, like we got some that we haven't announced yet, some really big ones. And then, you know, Alcatraz, Bloodstock, Partisan, Tolminator, just a ton of them. But we're doing 8 total.
Okay.
And we're playing a bunch of club shows in between with some awesome bands. I can't announce it yet, but I don't know when this interview is going to come out. So uh but uh but yeah, we can't quite say anything about it yet, but it's going to be awesome. And then I do think we're going to be hitting like Spain and stuff like that.
Okay.
Spain, like I think there's maybe Italy on there. But I don't know if we're going to get to like Peru on there. I don't think so. But I mean, we will eventually. We
Yeah.
will for sure. There is talk with Dying Fetus, okay, about doing like a South American tour
Yes.
and
Yeah, they
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They will
So
come in June here.
yeah, so I think there's talks, if we can make it work, about us joining them on that. So that's
Well,
still just us talking. We're still trying to figure out if like we're at that stage where we can afford to do that, because it's very expensive for us to like to do that. And you know, I want to, man, like I want to, and I know it's going to happen eventually because like you know, we want to play everywhere on this planet. I mean, this is what we set out to do, you know. But yeah, we're gonna do a headlining tour this year. And then early next year, we're gonna do another full European tour. Or we're aiming to, and we might quite possibly have one of the biggest tours we've ever had as a band
Mhm.
next year, but it's still up in the air, so can't say much about it. But yeah, it's with some absolutely humongous bands, and I'm really hoping that it happens because it would be a dream come true. But yeah, I mean, dude, as far as plans go, man, we're just gonna keep moving, man. We're trying to solidify ourselves as like as Frozen Soul, you know,
Mhm.
as a band that's going to keep going and keep touring and keep playing for everybody and keep writing music and have a legacy, you know, like that's what we truly want as a band because we've given this everything we've got, you know. So we're just trying to keep it going.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice to hear about the possibility to join Dying Fetus in June in Latin America. Ooh, that will be amazing if that happens. I hope. I
Yeah, yeah, I hope it does. I mean, like, you know, it was a lot of just talking, but I know that they're planning on doing something. So they were like, "Man, it would be cool if you guys come with us." And I was like, "Let's actually talk about this. Let's
Yeah.
let's let's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
make this
Oh.
happen."
Yeah. 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 If you
So,
will play well here with the Latin American tour, you will much do a better performance with the some more morbid effigy because John Gallagher will touring with you.
yeah. Yeah, and actually it's funny in Berlin, he came out and did the song with us.
Yeah.
And he came out on stage with us and performed it with us, and it was awesome, man. Like the crowd was going crazy.
Yeah.
Our
No.
whole label was there watching and everything. It was awesome, man. It was great. It was fun. Such a good dude. Such a good dude.
Okay, okay. Well, chat, the sad times arrive at this interview. I hope you enjoy this one like me. Congratulations on the new
Yeah.
album. It's a great one as usually. Perhaps do you want
Thanks,
to
man.
add something to your Latin American fans and Metalino followers?
Yeah, you know, thanks for having me first of all. It's good to talk to you again, you know, like I'm happy to be here. And you know, to everybody over there, I promise you we will be there, you know, we will be there at a certain point when the time is right. But keep a lookout and until then, listen to Glacial Domination.